Hey guys, it's Joy. I wanted to do a really quick video, kind of a spin-off on the 2017 goals videos, which I love to watch this time of year. But this is kind of looking back on my beginning homeschooling days or years, I should say. And I still consider myself kind of a newbie homeschooler because my oldest is only 4th grade, so I haven't even hit like middle school yet. But I wanted to look, as I was thinking about it and looking back over my beginning years of homeschooling, I realized there were some strategic things that either came into my life or that I sought out that really have helped enrich my homeschooling experience for myself and therefore my children. So I wanted to share those things with you, and 4 of them came to mind pretty quickly. So those are the 4 I wanted to share with you. So the very first one, it actually came through a sermon that I heard one time, and the pastor was saying, talking about finding a mentor. And this particular pastor was kind of in that role, a mentorship role. And it just kind of struck me. And I thought, I'm raising 2 boys. I know nothing about boys. I didn't grow up with brothers. I am not a boy myself, obviously. So I really wanted some insight. And so one mom popped into my mind, and she has 4 boys, and the youngest one is still in high school, but the other 3 are now in college. And so this was probably 2 or 3 years ago. And so I Facebook Messenger, and I just said, hey, would you be interested in getting together and being my mentor? It was pretty straightforward. And she said yes. And I was so excited. So we started meeting. I think from the beginning, I asked her, I said, the only time I have available really to meet would be early mornings. And so we still do that. One morning, probably every other week is typically when we meet. Sometimes we have to skip because of holidays and things like that. But it's generally every other week we meet for about an hour in the morning from 6:30 to 7:30. It used to be 6 to 7. And we just talk. And she, obviously, I looked up to her because her boys were just amazing men, and she was a very godly woman. So I was just like, hey, I think, I want to emulate whatever you're doing or whatever you've done. So she's given me some fabulous ideas about raising young boys, and just, I can ask her some of the harder questions and just, hear what she did. And I have just gleaned so much from her. So I would say, I think she's 50, or she is 50, and I'm 36. So that's like the age gap that I felt, she's still in the parenting thing, but yet she's kind of moving out of it, but it's still fresh enough in her mind that she remembers things to help me. So it's been great. Along with that, she actually has encouraged me to journal, and I've done journaling off and on over the years, but I really didn't feel like when I had young kids, I had time and all of this. And so she really encouraged me to get back into it. It's been really, really great, because sometimes I have learned, and I've heard this somewhere, you honestly don't know what you think of something until you write it down. And that has held true for me so much of the time. Once I slow down and I think about it and I write it out, I sometimes find that I think about it completely differently than I actually thought I did. So that's been really helpful. Plus, it's been really fun to go back and look, and it's kind of a little bit of a journal of my kids and what they've been doing and things like that. But it's mostly like kind of just me and God talking. But that's kind of, you can make it whatever. And I'm kind of, delving into different ways of journaling. And it's just been really fun. So that's where I'll leave that. Number 3, I will say, has been hands down one of the biggest motivators to me as a homemaker and as a mom, is I found a YouTube channel that absolutely inspires the socks off of me. And I've talked about her before. It's called How Jen Does It. I really, really love her. She's not much older than me, but she actually has 2 boys, like high school, and one who just graduated from high school. And so she just is my age, but yet, farther ahead of me in the game. And she has so many motivational videos, like cleaning, exercising, all of those kind of things. And for me, it has been fabulous. It has done wonders for my housekeeping, for my organization, for motivation, for me, for working out and things like that. Which brings me to my final point. It is working out. So I know this is one, like a New Year's resolution for everyone type of a thing, but at the same time, I remember I was a mom of 3 young kids. My oldest was kindergarten, so that means I had a 5, 3, and 1-year-old. And I was dying. I was literally like, I would just be so upset every day at the end of the day. Nothing was going right, and I would just cry to my husband. And I'm not like a big crier anymore, but I would just sit there and I'd be like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I don't know why I feel this way. But truly, when you are new to homeschooling and maybe you're kind of going in a different direction than your friends are going, you feel so alone, and you feel like you're giving all of this to your kids and then you're schooling them as well. You just really kind of, I floundered for a while, and not to say I don't still sometimes, but I really floundered to find out who I was and to remember like, okay, I'm still a person, that kind of a thing. So my husband suggested, he was like, I think you really need to work out, so maybe we should talk about joining a gym. And he wasn't saying this, oh my gosh, that could be really misconstrued. He was not saying it in like, you really need to work out. No, we were brainstorming together. And at first I was like, I don't have time, because we used to work out together all the time, like when we were newly married. So he knew I liked that, and he knew I hadn't done it for a long time. And so he was like, you have a 1-year-old, we're done having children. I really think that should be something that you could maybe, get back into. So we joined the gym, and I just started going maybe a couple of times a week. And it really was so helpful. I consider that like a turning point for me, and thanks to my husband, who was not afraid to say you need to work out. But I really just felt like that boosted my spirits, and of course in conjunction with other things. It wasn't like the be all end all, but I feel like these 4 things, meeting with a mentor, journaling, finding a YouTube channel that inspires you, that may sound crazy, but it really has helped me. And then working out, those 4 things over the years and over time have just melded together to make my life so much easier, for one, and richer, and just make me feel better. And therefore I'm able to parent better. I'm able to be a better wife, all of those things. So I just want to encourage you guys to really take a look at your life and just say, you know what? I really think that I would like to do this in the upcoming year, and do it. Like, start, make a plan and work towards it, or call up that friend and say, hey, you know what? I really look up to you. Can you mentor me? Something like that. I would just encourage you guys to start going there, especially if you're really struggling with kind of who you are and what you're doing as a homeschool mom like I was. And I hope those things help. So I hope you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.